Scott Bolden, former Democratic chairman in Washington, D.C., and from Virginia Beach, Virginia, Brigitte Gabriel, the president of Act for America. Great to see you both. All right, let's get into this. Brigitte, you heard me on the diversity cult. I mean, diversity is more important than security, safety, rule of law, perhaps due process. The diversity word. You hear it on college campuses, but now it's apparently our immigration policy as well.
Right now, diversity is killing Americans, and we have 8 dead people that we haven't even seen their funerals yet, with their families mourning. This program maybe started with a good intention, but right now it needs to be eliminated, because right now the countries on this diversity visa qualification program are Libya, Yemen, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq. Really? Do we really need to be bringing people from these countries, knowing that they are harboring terrorists and knowing that ISIS already said that they want to use whatever means possible to infiltrate the country, and they are using this program, and it needs to end, and end immediately. And I tell you, it was great listening to Senator Perdue, and I pledge that my organization will get and mobilize behind his bill to make sure we get it passed.
Scott, you're from D.C. originally. D.C. there's a lot of need in this city. There are a lot of folks who could use a helping hand, use an opportunity. Why would we bring 50,000 people a year into the country? Many of them have no skills, have no affinity for the culture, many of them more burdens on society, when we need these jobs for lower income Americans and, frankly, minority Americans in places like the District of Columbia?
But why do you presume that if we bring immigrants in and we value diversity, because we are a country of immigrants, and the value in diversity, we are stronger because we're different. The three of us are very different, and we create the strength in this country. Why is that so wrong? These 8 to 10 people were killed by a terrorist, if you will. They weren't killed by that diversity or travel visa program, and he did do what he was supposed to do. He was here for 7 years. He came here in 2010.
He did do what he was supposed to do. What are you talking about? The man killed 8 people, and he shouldn't be here.
He assimilated.
If we didn't have... He assimilated? Is that assimilation to you? Are you out of your mind?
He had a job. No, I'm not out of my mind. He assimilated for 7 years. He was radicalized while he was here in the U.S. Take away the program, he'd still be here. And we've got to fight that radicalism.
Hold on, Brigitte. Let me
he was radicalized here. That's all I'm saying.
Scott, let me just ask you a question.
Sure.
Since you admit that you just said someone could come in and we could seem like, wow, he got a job. He's working at Kmart, or he's working somewhere. Oh, he's assimilating. But because we have the internet now, because we have the internet, we can't tell, can we? If you're especially if you're Muslim, because that's predominant terror attacks come from Muslims. If you're Muslim, you're in the United States, maybe you're alone, maybe you don't have any contacts here, you could become radicalized. My question to you, Scott, is the diversity lottery program worth a single life of an innocent American in your estimation? Should we just say we're going to sacrifice X number of people because we love this idea of diversity?
I think the value and power of diversity is alive and well in this country.
So the answer
is yes. It's not worth one life. Hold on, I'm going to answer. It's not worth one life, but let's be really clear. The toughest part of Homeland Security and our FBI is finding those who are being radicalized in this country.
Why should we burden the FBI with another job to do?
That's not another job.
You do not have a constitutional right to come into the United States. This was created in 1989 by H.W. and Kennedy. And they decided it was going to be good for diversity.
Laura,
now we have 8 dead Americans, and apparently certain people are fine with that. Brigitte,
no, let me just say this. The Republicans have as much to do with this law as the Democrats did. You had a Republican president that signed this law. In fact, Charles Schumer in 2013, with bipartisan support, certainly tried to kill it. And you know who killed it? The Republicans in the House. That's why it died.
Scott, if you think I'm going to defend the Republicans on this, you don't know what host you're talking to. The Republicans have been a disaster on immigration, most of them, not Purdue.
Well, we agree on one thing at least, right?
Exactly. Brigitte, there is a problem. Like we have hundreds of thousands of Muslims in the United States, and they're law-abiding. They don't cause any trouble. They're working. They have families. A lot of them have very conservative values politically. Sometimes they vote Democrat, but they have some conservative social values. We can't track everyone in the country, and nor can we profile everyone in the country because they happen to be coming in on a visa and are Muslim. So They're here, they have families. Now what do we do?
Well, we have to be careful, and we have to start profiling and basing our profiling on behavior and mannerism.
You're going to profile Muslims
in the United States.
You said that on national TV. You want to profile Muslims. How about black people?
And mannerism. I let you speak. Now you let me speak out of respect. Now, I come from Israel. You profile people based on behavior and mannerism. People that are lying, usually they fidget, they sweat, they smile, they fake their smile, their facial muscles do not change. We need to invest in human intelligence and start profiling people who are behaving badly in this country. We know that a lot of FBI agents are already monitoring mosques in this country. They are already monitoring terrorism in this country. We have 1,000 open investigations right now in all 50 states on ISIS operatives in the United States. That is a problem. And there is a problem when 80% of terrorism is coming out of a community that represents only 2% of the American society, and that's the Muslim community.
Yeah, I'm never going to support profiling whatsoever. Profile everyone who's dangerous. Yep.
Scott, I'll give you the last word.
Listen, I'm never going to support profiling as an African American. If you're going to profile with human intelligence, then you do that across the board. You profile Hispanics, you profile white nationalists, you profile domestic terrorism, as well as those on the international front. All Muslims, this whole idea that Muslims somehow are bad and they're the ones that are committing these crimes, that's just simply not the case. And when you start profiling, you violate their rights.
Right. Well, Scott, I think,
when we look at terrorism,
this law was in place for 27 years before an incident like this happened. 27 years, and now you want to gut the program.
Okay, Scott, I'll just say this, that you do concede, do you not, that overwhelmingly the terror attacks in the United States and Europe are committed by Muslims, correct? Or people who call themselves Muslims, correct? Or you don't even concede that?
When you combine, you add Europe to it and the incidents that we know about, but we have domestic terrorism here that we simply don't admit to.
Oklahoma City bombing. Okay.
Oklahoma City bombing.